Hello and welcome to Fly Bites, and today we're going to teach you how to navigate in 2 minutes. Well, we're going to have a go. And when we talk about navigating, we're talking about the actual flying part, not the flight planning part. So let's assume we've done the flight plan and we're in the air and we're about to set course on our given heading over our waypoint. So the first thing we do is we note the time that we set course, and that's all we do, just note the time. Because the next thing we need to do, we need to make sure that we're definitely going in the right direction. So we should then do a gross error check. Now that's like it says, a gross error check. It's a thing that just points to make sure we're pointing in the right direction roughly. So have we got massive features that indicate this? Like, have we got the seaside on the right and land on the left? Or have we got a really big lake on the right and, you know, a big town on the left? Those really major features, because sometimes the headings that we use can easily get transposed. So for example, you might want to be flying 0 to 0 degrees, but actually in your haste or in your error, you've actually flying to 0 degrees, and that's completely the wrong direction, obviously. So the gross error check picks that up. So that happens quite quickly. It's very easy to spot. So once you've done your gross error check, what we then do is, if you've got an aeroplane that doesn't auto sync the DI, then you need to double check the compass against the DI and reset that DI accurately against the compass. And now we are pretty confident we are definitely flying the heading that we should. So now we've done that, what we can then do is turn our attention to working out what the ETAs are for our destination waypoint. So using your set course time and using your flight plan, you know you've got to add X minutes to the set course time to give you an ETA to the other end. And good practice also then means that you should then work out what your halfway point should be as well, and an ETA to that. So now we're happy that we're flying on the correct heading. We're hopefully also flying at the correct altitude. That's the time to check that too. And we know what time we should be there. Strangely, what you're now going to do is you're now going to hide your map up from you to avoid you keep looking at it. Because what we want to do, we want to concentrate on flying that heading accurately, and keeping an eye on our altitude, and also with our eyes out of the cockpit looking for other traffic. You've spent a lot of time planning this flight to fly that heading and altitude, so let's not get distracted with stuff happening on the ground and keep looking at our chart away from that task, because if we fly that altitude and heading accurately, then we've got every chance of success of reaching the destination that we want to reach. So you do that until you get to 2 minutes before your ETA, whether that's the halfway point or whether that's the destination. When you've got 2 minutes to run, you bring the chart out again and you look on the chart for the features which are 2 minutes ahead of you or around you, and then you start looking for those features in reality so that you can now pinpoint your position according to where you actually are. And then when you reach your waypoint or your halfway point, once again, you note the time down that you got there, and guess what? You do the whole thing all over again. It's just like a giant sausage factory. You repeat the process over and over again. So you've set course, you've got your set course time, you do your gross error check, you check the compass against the DI, and then you put the chart away again until 2 minutes to the next waypoint. So that's it in general. Obviously there's other things to consider which was part of your training, to do with unplanned diversions or working around a bit of weather or a place on the ground that crops up that you need to do. But that's not what we're going to talk about now. That's a bit later on as part of your training. So, sausage factory, 2 minutes. Have fun.